Jamaicans by poll have suggested that they have no faith in this institution. And many Jamaicans do not understand the relevance of the Integrity Commission and why it is so important in this democracy.
It might not have been of importance to some section of the population, but it is of relevance to some section of the population.
No, sir, that old lady in Moko.
No, listen. Let me respond.
In Moko, right? This morning, that had to, go to the standpipe to pick up a bucket of water. The Integrity Commission matters to her, sir.
It matters to her.
Yes, sir, it matters to her. And that young boy that is downtown with a bag of onion selling on the sidewalk, trying to make a $2,000. It matters to him, sir.
No, better yet, neighbor. That old frail comrade that Mr. Campbell spoke of, that he went into his house. He said this old frail comrade, Michael Manley comrade, and when him look up in the roof, he must see all the weather elements. He must see through the roof. It matters to him too.
It matters, sir. And that is why
know where I get him next dinner to eat.
It is important that Jamaicans understand.
Okay, so
hold on, Mr. Blair. Hold on.
Let me respond to both you and
I'm going to give you the time, I promise you. It is important for Jamaicans to understand, yes, that the destruction of this noble institution, right, for political purposes, is unworthy. Okay? Let the commission do its work. And when the commission does its work.
Can I say something? Can I respond to you now? A couple of years ago, the Prime Minister was making a statement and making a speech on a political platform. And he asked the People's National Party to avoid and to leave the Integrity Commission alone to do their job. Now you're going to tell me that the institution is tainted because of political interference from the People's National Party.
Currently.
Without providing cogent information.
No, sir. I am telling you what the polls. I am telling you what the polls, my brother. I am telling you what the polls say. Can we move on? Can we move on to discussing the things that matter to the Jamaican people, sir?
You, Blair, come current, past is the past.
The Integrity Commission matters to the Jamaican people.
No, but sir, if we want to discuss the Integrity Commission broadly, I can have that. I am not engaging, sir, in a discussion about the Integrity Commission and the Prime Minister. I do not. I think it is of no relevance.
No,
Moderator, let me have a say, please.
The only reason, hear me. The only reason why you are raising it is because you think or you feel that it benefits you politically. No other reason.
No, I did not raise it. Classic is
jump out of the box. I was just add Travi. Here? No, you add Travi. May I go jump out of the box and you add Travi, please.
Right. So you're not raising it out of concern, my brother. You are not raising it out of concern for integrity, That's not why you're raising it.
I did not raise it. Classic was the one who raised the Prime Minister 28 bank account. I was just responding. Yeah. I know it's uncomfortable for you guys to discuss,
Yes.
And
you hold on,
not
Blair.
have any discussion here that is concerned. You would rather not have a discussion on it.
Yes,
Take into consideration that Ed Bartlett is the chairman of the Oversight Committee at the Integrity Commission. He's also the leader of government business in the House of Representatives.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Okay.
And Kamina Johnson-Smith.
Yes. Are you going to hold on, sir?
Hold on. Let me just finish my statement, then you can say it.
No. You can hold on, man. Hold on your thought. You're not an old man. You can remember what you want to say. Wait. Kingston 11.
Good morning, people.
Morning.
My fellow Jamaicans, I hope you are listening and taking notes, because it is the intention of the PNP to deceive and mislead us. It is very unfortunate that you should have come here this morning and said that the Prime Minister is the head of the country, and by such he is held at the highest standard possible. I want to remind you that Mark Golding is seeking the highest office of the land also, and as such, he too must be held responsible and respectful of our country. When Mark Golding mentioned to his conference or his meeting that we're going to turn it up on them wicked, I want you to tell me what he was saying. When he went to East Rural and he said, if even somebody dead can turn up and work out something, we welcome it. Tell me what he was saying, Mr. Yu. Because you're losing this argument fast. There's nothing wrong with the Prime Minister or anybody having 28 or 100 bank account. Nothing is wrong with it. Nothing. So I want you to tell me also what is wrong with having 28 bank account. You can let him answer whenever.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm ready.
No, Mark, me a question. Let me answer.
No, sir. Let
me answer the question.
Let him answer.
There is nothing wrong with having 28 accounts. There is nothing wrong. No,
that argument done.
Sorry. Kingston 11. Just wait. Let him answer.
There is nothing wrong with having 28 or 100 accounts. You know what is wrong? Your inability to prove to the institution, the Integrity Commission.
No, sir. No, that is misleading.
That is wrong also.
That is misleading. No, this is nonsense. No, this is current nonsense. No, sir. I'm gonna mute you. But hold on, Kingston 11. Hold on, Kingston 11. Listen to me. Listen. This is misleading. It is misleading to say that.
Thank you.
And you know, I don't know. I don't know why. Is it misleading or is dishonest?
Both.
Is it being dishonest, sir, or or you don't know how to communicate?
But can I say something?
To communicate. Come on, man. Let's leave this. You know what? I'm gonna drop.
Hold on, Dr. Coles.
Wait. No. You see this discussion that we're having here. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Because you see when we get politics involved in serious matters,
I beg you to continue.
It robs the people of the correct information. And politics has blinded some of our. Leave this alone. Don't more comment on it.
Mr. Host, that's a quick
Host, I want to ask you.
If you're going to comment on this subject, no bother.
The question that Kingston 11 asked when he said turn up the thing, could it be that South St. Andrew, which recorded the most murders last year, and we know who is the MP for South St. Andrew, could it be a statement that he said turn up the thing and the thing was really turn up? Really turn up?
Mr. Host, may I please? Mr.
Hold on. Let's try. Classic. Don't go there. You're here because
the constituency that had the most crime last year is the Minister of National Security for the last 17 years.
That not go so cool.
I want to put out that tomorrow.
Don't do it, Paul.
Put out that tomorrow. But Mr.
Don't do it.
All fairness, Mr. Host, all fairness.
Don't shout.
Did Mr. Holness
don't shout, sir,
they have the power to turn it up or turn it down? What that mean?
No, the only thing we turn up our music, sir. We don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. No,
Mr. Host. Wait, hold on.
Let me answer Mr. Cole, please.
Just wait,
When
no,
the
sir.
Prime Minister,
Answer the
when
frail old man.
when the Prime Minister made that statement, he was making it in Parliament, referring to the campaign and getting his voters out. That is what he was referring to. He was not calling on
The same
criminality. No, Mark Golding was calling just like us. Mark
That's the same thing.
Was the same as doing balls.
That was.
Take it to them. No, you're a liar.
No, hold on. Hold on.
All right, Mr. Host.
See you as a biased host.
Yes.
You
are a liar. They will not allow you to tell lies.
I will judge you. God bless you. You Blair, come off of them program.
Hold on, Doctor.
Frail old man, go on about your business. Go on, frail old man.
Run.
On the matter of
Are you Campbell that about frail old man?
Hold on, Mr. Classic. On the matter of good governance.
Voice of the nation.
Yeah, on the matter of good governance. Jamaica is poised in this era, this 21st century era, for national development and for the development of the people. We are going towards a general election, and each general election, as we know, we select a leader. Jamaica has been plagued with bad leadership for decades on both political sides. And if you look at...
Hold on, Voice of the Nation. Mr. Golding was a bad leader, sir.
Don't single me out on one person, because
but you say for decades, and we just want to
for decades.
Yes.
One, and I can even, I don't want to go into an argument. I want to say what I'm saying. For decades, Jamaica faced with bad leadership. For those decades, Jamaica have not have an institution to hold our public figures accountable.
Mr.
Underneath this new era, where we want public servants, people that we entrusted to be good stewards of our affairs, to represent us in our work, we want to ensure that all public servants are honest and doing the work of the people. The only mechanism in Jamaica can hold public servants accountable right now is the IT. There's no other mechanism. Outside of
let me stop you, please. Let me say something, please.
No, don't stop.
Let him finish, please.
Outside of the IC, there are internal processes that really doesn't have the power to arrest, investigate, or do anything. Actually, those things over the years get wiped underneath the carpet. Two examples I want to use for two sides. If you look at the PNP side, you're going to bring up FinSac. And they said nobody go to prison. And you can go all over FinSac. If you look at the Jamaica Labour Party side, you can look at the genocide in Coral Garden Massacre, where nobody got to prison. Today, in Jamaica, that is a genocide. And that was an act of the Jamaica Labour Party. Okay? We did not get a
rubbish.
No,
rubbish statement. You cannot blame Coral Gardens for no party. That's a rubbish statement.
No, bro. History here, 1963.
I don't care
1963, the Jamaica Labour Party by Oscar
neutral.
What do you mean neutral? What is fact?
Where is the proof of that?
You see why
it is fact.
It is not fact.
So the
It is not.
Sir,
so the Garden Massacre is not a
it was a riot.
What do you mean a riot?
Go get information if you don't know. Go get information.
I'm saying to you, the government of Andrew Holness apologized and offer $20 million.
Lies again. Lies again.
What do you mean lies?
Again.
They apologize. They offered the victims $20 million.
Neighbor.
They offered the victims $20 million.
But you see,
you're jumping over my head.
No,
you're
but
trying
this
to
doesn't make no sense.
You're allowing misinformation to fly through your program. So
why you
can
never
you
said the
prove?
Fintac was a
Can you
misinformation?
You
prove?
guys are
Why
Can
did
you
uncomfortable
you
with
not
prove?
truth,
say Fintac was a
You
misinformation?
guys are uncomfortable
Because
with truth.
the
Why
same
are
the
you
same
Very
saying that?
integrity
uncomfortable when you speak the
No,
truth.
you're
because the
saying
same
that, but
integrity commission that
no,
you are lauding now, the same integrity
no.
commission that
So,
you're
all right.
lauding now,
Was
did a
Fintac real?
report,
Was
did a
Fintac real?
report
Was Fintac real? Was Fintac real? Yes or
yes, and
no?
we can
Yes.
prove it. Yes, and we can prove it. Yes, and
Okay.
we can prove it.
Was the genocide
Yes,
in
and we can
Carlegal
prove it.
massacre real?
Can no, and can you prove that there was a genocide carried out by the government?
Travi, you see why
Mm-hmm.
I don't even bother to open up the box sometimes, because when we start like this, we lose the integrity of the program. We don't. It doesn't make no sense.
I
Just wait,
understand
no
that,
man.
but
Just wait,
my
wait, no
growth
man.
is
Wait, here.
also with you both who allow the misinformation to fly. I have a better regard that I held for you, who know these information, and he won't tell you say, no ask him anything, just let him say what he must say. That makes
So
sense.
you are hold on. You're going to chastise me for allowing someone to speak.
He is spreading misinformation. Your duty as the host, duty as the host is to stop him in his track. You attempted to, and him push back and you let him. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You
All right.
attempted to kill him. Will you admit that you attempted to stop him in his track and him push back?
I'm not going to get into a back and forth with you, no, sir. You want to?
No, I'm not going to get in a back and forth.
Do you want to make a contribution, or do you want to come over here to take over how the program is run?
I'm not taking over the program. I'm saying he's spreading misinformation, don't do that. And we have to stop it.
Hold on, man. If you want to have a contribution here, sir, then you are free to do so. The fact of the matter is, I do not appreciate you telling me how to go about conducting this. Okay, great. Everybody's muted, and we can move on. Classic.
Yeah, man. So
great. So Classic. My point really is that we should move on from this subject, because it is the classic smoke screen when we don't want to discuss the matters that are of moment and important. Not true?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I want to ask Voice of the Nation a question, because I think this is really important. Maybe one day, maybe I'll become a senior citizen, and I hope I won't get old and frail, and nobody has to be looking up in my roof after being a staunch supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party. But in this case, we are talking about the PNP, this old frail man. Now, Voice of the Nation.
Looking in the skies.
Have you heard from the PNP or even Campbell if they are going to offer any help to that old frail Michael Manley comrade?
Let me answer you this way. In the era that we are right now, we are looking for a Jamaica first with good leadership that all Jamaicans can import to achieve their fullest potential. Not PNP, not labor rights, all Jamaicans, home and abroad. How we do that is good governance and take responsibility. Not pointing fingers and not going back to say, I am better than you in this or that. We have to look at achievements and accomplishments. People that lead with vision for the people. Jamaica need leaders similar to what Donald Trump is for the American people and the British to the British people. Not leaders for only the Green Party or the Orange Party. And in order to get that, you have to have people with good credibility, integrity, and good moral character to lead the country. How you achieve that? You have to have institutions, stakeholders that can hold our people accountable And for us to get into that era, all leaders, all person that holds public office needs to be vetted and need to give account for what they are doing. So in the long run, all Jamaicans can able to benefit from the country. And that cannot be done through corruption and poor governance. Perfect example, and that will answer you. If you look at the fourth pillar of Vision 2030 that they said our borders are secure, as a Labourite, if you are, you can say yes. I saw the Prime Minister in his budget said they invested millions in the Coast Guard. Shortly after, we see a container show without no national security, no national health ministry to confiscate the container that could.
All right, Voice, you clearly never hear the question. You never hear the question.
I'm not answering your
man, Voice, listen to this Voice.
I do not want to
Satan Campbell identify a problem. Listen, man, Satan Campbell identify. Voice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Satan Campbell identified a problem, which he can bring forth a solution to that particular problem. And I'm asking you, the frail old man, which is a Michael Manley supporter, and he's a PNP supporter from way back in the 70s till now. And then go in my yard and then see him on the bed, frail old, in close stiff on him in the place stink. They must see every weather element when they look up in the roof, because they must see through the roof. Did you hear Satan Campbell say, this is the solution to that particular problem? Did you hear that?
I cannot comment on something that I've not seen for myself. If you are bringing something that, but I can answer your way. If any loyal supporter of any given party falls on hard times, there should be rewards or facilities or resources put in place for them. And if you want me to answer you on that basis, we have seen time and time again, just for the same Jamaica Labour Party, that loyal supporter falls on hard time and still never get any support. It happens on both sides. Okay?
Yeah. Listen. The fact is that we have had issues of corruption in government in Jamaica. Okay, sir?
Yes.
And it has cost Jamaica a lot. And there are people today that are still paying for the corruption. Yes? And
yes,
I am suggesting to you, sir, that when institutions are set up by partisan institutions,
repeat that statement.
By partisan institutions. That we must do everything to keep them out of the political nastiness.
Yes.
Yes, and allow these institutions to do their work.
Which one of the institution would you refer to that is doing that?
No, I don't want to call any names. I'm only suggesting.
Well, there's only one institution can guide us from protection, not hypocritically. The only institution in Jamaica that is set up to hold public servant accountable is the Integrity Commission.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a talk with?
And therefore, sir, you see, one of the things, Voice, one of the things that Jamaicans do not understand,
yes,
is the link between their standard of living, the increase in their minimum wage, and this institution, sir.
What? I don't understand you. Rephrase what you just said. No, hold on.
If the country...
Hold on, host. You're saying the standard of living between the Integrity Commission and what?
Not the Integrity Commission. The work of the Integrity Commission in allowing Jamaica to have a perception when we get loans, when multilaterals engage us and that the money is going towards the projects that are to benefit the Jamaican people. No, sir.
I'm following you. I'm listening to you. Keep talking.
Yes, sir. And that to make this link that an institution like the Integrity Commission ought to be protected from the political, I don't want to say influence.
Okay, I follow you now, but let me make a comment on it now. Couple years ago, both political parties sat down and signed off an Integrity Commission, and they appointed these people to ensure that they carry out their work in accordance with the law. We could remember Mr. Holness, Mr. Golin, both Golins and both sides concluded on the Integrity Commission. And one of the reasons why they concluded an Integrity Commission, it is public servants needs to be held accountable at this point. If the Integrity Commission is compromised, that's a different story, that it needs to be revamped and reshaped. But the work of the Integrity Commission, if it catch a labor right thiefing or a PNP thiefing, that person needs to be locked up and be charged, and it should not be by any party.
Can I have a little reason?
Ask one question and jump off. Just one question. You believe that right now the Integrity Commission is tainted in that the last 4 years would have seen Mark Goldin's statutory declarations being identical when the price of goods and services and in pay even go up within that last 4 years, but it still remains the same.
You're asking me.
At the same time, they now want to free up a prime minister.
Let me answer you this way. When I spent a lot of time researching, and when I read the reports from the Integrity Commission regarding Mr. Mark Goldin, the Integrity Commission stated facts that for their research and investigation in Mr. Mark Goldin and his declarations and the cooperation between him and their office was okay. That's facts. That's not what I am saying. That's what Integrity said. We give him a green light on it, not me. When it comes down to the current prime minister, they're saying otherwise, that there's no cooperation. Not me. Mr. Host, don't be biased. Don't be biased. It's not me.
Being that Mark Goldin pay go up, my father. Listen, nation, may I ask you this? The man pay even go up. Goods and services, the price of goods and services have increased. The rent for properties them have, it increased. But for the last 4 years, it remains everything on the man's statutory declaration, everything remains the same, brother.
So you're saying to me that based on the current reality of goods and services, that his statutory direction is not correct.
That is what I'm saying to you.
All right. And for me to
question that as a comrade.
I'm not a comrade, sir.
So what are you?
I'm not a comrade.
No, hold on. Can I ask you a question, sir?
Yes.
Are you suggesting that the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Michael Holness, is not a man of integrity?
I did not say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
No, but you have been saying that Jamaica needs a leader.
The Commission said, not me.
No. I'm asking you now. I'm asking you now, right?
You're asking me personally what I think about Andrew Holness?
Yes.
That's what you want to know?
Are you suggesting that he's not a man of integrity?
And what would we classify as integrity for me to break that?
No, but earlier you were saying that Jamaica needs a leader who is a man of integrity and a credible leader. You were saying that as if you're
No, you didn't hear me clearly. I said Jamaica needs that. And if both political representatives are going up to contest the general election, both of them need to go through that mechanism that will prove that they are credible. And it's not one-sided.
Okay then. As it is now, is there anything that would suggest that Andrew Holness is not credible?
Currently, I can only work with the mechanism that is in Jamaica. And outside of that mechanism.
Using the mechanism.
right?
Your story you're talking, I want to try to be one person.
Using the mechanism, is there anything to suggest that he's not a man of integrity?
Well, the mechanism, which is the Integrity Commission, is yet to await further when a person is under investigation. But
he's not. No, hold on. He is not under investigation
anymore. He's before the court.
No, he was never.
Yo, yes, you see my himself, neighbor. He must be under investigation. You can't conclude that. Then when you confront him, in a court, no investigation.
Mr. Travis,
which one is
all
it?
right. So let's understand it then. Let's understand. Why is he before the court?
Hold on, boys. Hold on.
No, it's a question. Why is he before the court?
Just hold on, sir.
Many different things. If I may answer, neighbor.
Travi.
Yeah.
Please, it's your time. Why? Is the Prime Minister under investigation? Answer that.
He's not under investigation. The investigation has concluded and the report submitted along with their ruling.
Okay.
Right? And I'll ask this question here. The mechanism in place. What is it that you point to that states that he doesn't have a credibility?
Okay, let me answer you that now.
From the mechanism in place, okay?
Yeah, let me answer you.
Yeah, not from your opinion, you know. From the mechanism.
Let me answer you from the mechanism, which is the Integrity Commission, which we know its ultimate objective is to hold all public servants accountable. And based on their report, they concluded that Mr. Holness have not provided the necessary information that will deem all that he... Let me finish before you jump in. It's not you after question and you jump in. All right, if you don't, answer the question for yourself. Answer the question for yourself.
Well,
you ask me a question. No,
Travis. I'm sorry. This is hold on. Sir, Travi. This is of no value. We probably should end it.
No.
But Mr. Host,
what the problem is?
Mr. Host,
relax and your time to talk.
Your background, Travi, is very distracting. I don't know why.
Mr. Host, I have a question for you, Mr. Host.
Vice, wait your turn. We give you a chance to answer the question you try.
Sorry, Travi, your background is
No, I'm claiming my time because he tried to lie, Joe.
I'm not trying
I tried to lie.
I'm not hearing Travi. Voice of the nation.
Yeah, hear me? All right, you hear me now?
Yes, Mr.
Voice
Voice.
of the nation.
Yes, Mr. Host. I have a question for you, Mr. Host.
Travi, you're in and
my
out.
question to you.
I am hearing Travi clearly.
No,
and the voice of the nation is hearing Travi also.
Voice. Hold on 1 minute, voice. Was there a ruling by the Director of Corruption and Prosecution that there are no charges to be laid against the Prime Minister?
Let me answer you based on what the report said. It's not me. I'm not speaking as a person. We're speaking as what the report said. And I am working with what the report said. If the report did detail a PNP taunted, it would be the same mechanism.
Yeah, but just answer. You don't need that long introduction. Just answer.
Right. So I'm saying they concluded at this point they can't do anything because they don't have any information, so they pass it onward. In other words, they have exhausted themselves and they can't go any further. It means whatever the Prime Minister have left outstanding or to be whatever with it, it is left there. Outside of that narrative, Mr. Host, my question to you is...
Hold on the voice before you ask the host the question.
I can't believe you're alone. I can't believe you're alone.
Hold on the Travi. So you're saying that it is okay for a trial to continue if you were to go to court and go through the process of being tried, right? And get a not guilty verdict. It is okay to say to continue the trial after that?
I wouldn't agree in
so
that
why are you
context.
agreeing with that kind of process in the case of the Prime Minister?
Let me answer you. Why am I agreeing with the mechanism?
You know, voice. Let me ask you.
Hold on, Mr. O.
Yes. No, stop. Listen. You are the voice of the nation, sir.
Yes.
No, the voice of the nation is not doing justice to the nation at this
point. Why you said that? Because I'm speaking by I'm not speaking as a PNP or a Labour, right?
You're not.
Hold on. Foresight. Hold on, Mr. O's. Foresight.
You're not agreeing continuing a trial after not guilty verdict for yourself. But you want
Foresight. We're going to take a break and we're going to drop this subject at this point, okay?
Let me ask Foresight a question before you take a break now. He asked me a question, I can ask him one too. Mr. Foresight, in the interest of national development, PNP or Labour, right, or any party,
see, his microphone is not working so well.
Sir, I'm gonna ask Mr. Foresight a question, you know.
Go ahead.
Mr. Foresight, in the interest of national development across Jamaica, national development, PNP or Labour, right? Do you believe in good governance and we should have all leaders and public servants declare themselves in good standing to represent any public office? Do you believe in that?
Yes, I believe in that.
Yes.
No, I'm not talking to you, Travis. I'm talking to Mr. Forsyth.
If I believe what?
Do you believe in all? No, I'm talking one at a time, bro. Let's talk to Forsyth. I believe, Mr. Forsyth, that all Jamaicans, whether you're PNP or you're Labour, right, or no party or a party, the fact that you're going to represent Jamaica in a public office, you must go through all mechanism to ensure that we have good governance in 2025 and beyond, because we, the Jamaican people, are tired of the playing game from party to party, and Jamaica is being
What is your point, though? Are you suggesting that Holness did not go through the mechanism?
We have to leave this one here. We have to leave this one here.
You know the problem is, Mr. Host?
We have to leave this one here.
The point is, if Jamaica only have one single unit, can ensure that every single person in this country can be able to stand up in an integrity.
Yes, nation. Time is against us. We're going to have to move on, okay?
Well,
thank you.
Host, can I have a quick exchange?
Thank you. Hold on, Travis. Hold on. This is more than interesting. Part of the challenge, you see, Foresight, is that I don't even have all the information here to be as fulsome as I prefer. I think it is better to leave this subject out for this time.
No problem.
The genuine one. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. To be honest, I know you want to come off the this topic, but I just want to answer that topic based upon I just want to comment based on my own experience and probably everybody's experience here. So, I'm talking about the IC, and it might link back to the Prime Minister, so to speak. The lady, Kamika, Prince Kamika, how they have basically dealt with her. I read an article recently, right, and the article have indicated that the chairperson, I don't know if it was Panton or the new chairperson, would have asked Greg Christie to stay on. And so I'm asking, if they can ask him to stay on, why didn't they ask Prince Kamika to stay on? Right? And they have announced she is basically out. I think the issue now why probably Prince Kamika cannot come out and say anything is because more or less she would have signed. There's this kind of, what do you call it now? Confidentiality type of declaration that when you join certain organization,
non-disclosure.
That's a non-disclosure, yes. So certain things, Yeah, but mine is called confidentiality declaration where I work, right? So certain things you can't come out and basically indicate or say it. But I kind of find that type of situation, or those two, are I kind of find that kind of situation kind of troubling and worrying and concerning. And again, I want to segue into another point. Know that the Prime Minister's situation with the IC is going for a judicial review because probably there's some administrative breach or constitutional breaches. The lady, Prince Kamika, more or less, given that the Prime Minister is now before the court, and she would have ruled that more or less he shouldn't be charged for anything. I think more or less if the court wants additional information, the court might draw or bring her, or they might ask that she come before the court to make representation. And I think they more or less want to move her from that eventual process, so as to have somebody else there to make the representation. Everything just seems messed up and orchestrated. It just doesn't seem right.
Do you realize that no one here could answer your questions?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Why do you ask them?
Why I ask them, I want persons to think. I want persons to think. You have to be skeptical, right? And question things. It's a must.
But isn't this the same point that we have made, that conjectures, speculations does not help the process, because all it does, it adds some fuel to an already fire that seems to be blazing. And what we ought to do is to shut up at this point, respectfully, and allow the internal processes to work. Because I don't see what are we going to be, how are we going to answer these questions? Is there a gag order? Some people are suggesting gag order, some people are suggesting non-disclosure. I just don't know. I don't know. And I think, to be frank, that we would be better served looking at what it is that the parties are offering us going into the election.
Yes, that's true.
I think that is what we should be discussing.
Yes,
because I'm going to tell you that I do not know that Jamaicans, when they go to the ballot box, will have IC on their mind. I don't think so.
Exactly.
I think there is a small articulate minority that probably will, and those persons have already made up their mind. It does not, in my view, affect the body politics to any great extent. And I think
I beg to differ though.
Hold on, there is a view that this is just to muddy the water, to take people away from substantive discussions to something that is of not that it is not relevant, but as far as it affects the Jamaican people's lives at this time. I don't know that we should continue to spend much more time on this. You don't think so, sir?
Can I wrap with you?
Chavi, all right. So let me just, Chavi and I might be saying the same thing. I can say this to you. I am on the I take the bus every day because my transmission not working for my vehicle. And taking the bus and engaging with people, you hear the discussions, right? And then you ask persons if they have ever voted before, and somebody that tell us, boy, and them they vote already, but because they might hear this, right? Them basically them not certain, and then you have to break it down to them. So you will have these set of people just the same on these lives. And sometimes persons go around and they are and more or less they are gravitated to the political discussions. And then some persons are not certain. Rumors. Some of these things are actually rumors. And some of the time when you see certain things that are being the way they are organizing and basically employing and putting persons in different agencies, I wouldn't want a situation where you see something comes out and we didn't highlight it before. Sometimes you have to, before the fire starts, you probably have to wet the ground so it can be
why no
ignited.
genuine one?
Me can beg you guys a chance, please. I've been trying to
get the mic after Travis. I just say one thing.
Foresight, you see a lot before. And then
no, man, I just one small thing I say and get the mic.
I see about that thing.
So,
and we still can't get a chance to say something.
No, man,
I still can't get a chance to say.
finish already, you know.
No, bro.
Travis says, and then you foresight. Please, no more.
We're not relevant again. Because I just saw that one still. What is that?
Let me say what me say.
Not relevant again, Travis. So go ahead.
No, neighbor, me say more rap with you for a little bit. I'm gonna rap with you like this. I take it you're a man who has a job, who's working, yeah? And we're gonna use you as the
Sorry, sir, you have to speak up a little.
I'm saying I'm gonna take it that you're holding down a job and you understand how the workplace works and the world of employment, right? Now I'm gonna ask you this. I don't know what job you're in, but I like to ask you. If you're not doing 80% of what they hire you to do, would you be able to keep on to that job?
No, sir. I suspect that we are subjected to evaluations, job reviews, and those evaluations you have to pass them.
So you do agree that you would not be able to keep that job, see? All right, that's a one thing. Now, this young man came on talking about the IC and its sole purpose and its sole body. The IC, its biggest task, its main task, it has not done 80 or over 80% of that. Yet they say the IC has so much credibility, more than anybody else.
But you're not comparing apples and apples, though, the illustration is not.
But what I'm saying to you, if they don't do 80% of what they're supposed to do, it shows that there's a problem. Let me go into the problem some more. Finally, then conclude one report and then drop the report concerning the gas place. Petrojam implicated, I think, 4 gentlemen, one being Mr. Richard Creary. After years in court, he has been exonerated. Damage already done. You know what's happening now? Gleaner have to go pay him 10 million for running the story. So what I wanted to understand, neighbor, because Miriam said nobody else can answer the question and this and that. We have to look at the IC for what it is. And here's where I look at the IC and their actions. How can you drop a 179-page report with no conclusion, no ruling of an arrest, and you did not exonerate the person in the process? Explain that to me. Because what you're seeing now, the result of it, is this discourse that you see here. So people running with lie and misinformation and misinterpretation, stretching the truth.
But you know, Travi, it is not left to me.
I'm not leaving it to you. I'm just having the discussion with you. It's not left to you, neighbor. I'm having the discussion with you.
No, sir, it's not left to me. It's not left to me to defend the government's position on the IC.
No, that's not what I'm asking you to do. That's not what I'm asking you to do.
And I must confess, sir, that I'm a little bit ambivalent in engaging in areas that I am not well read. Okay?
Understood.
And I don't have the facts, sir.
Understood.
I don't have more information than what comes out into the public. And what I have tried to do is to take a position based on what I've heard. Yes, there are people like yourselves that probably know more. And that is why the platform is open to you to tell us what you know, right? And other persons maybe like Foresight and Classic and Joshua, right?
So neighbor, the thing is, I'm not trying to tell you how to run the program. Or what
No, it's not about running any program. There is no subject that one has all the information on. What I have tried to do is to suggest that we do not delve into areas that we can't, we can't provide the listeners with the best possible explanation. That's all.
Or even proof of what we're saying. Would you agree with that?
Proof of what we're saying.
So
I tell you this too. One of the things that I understand is that people have agendas.
All right.
People have agendas, and people will look on a program like this and say, oh, there's 150 people listening to this program now. Let us try and see if we can influence some minds here. People have agendas.
And knowing this very fact, neighbor, I beg that you fact check them. Because, like I said, the reason I came on is when the young man has said something that is not true, and in your attempt to correct him, he tell you, say, no man, left it. Let me don't talk, and then you respond. That can't be the case. You're misleading my audience. You're misleading my people. It's just that I'm saying. It's just that I'm saying. The argument that he's pushing about the massacre and bringing all Rastas dead or alive, it is a myth. No historian, and I challenge your neighbor to check it out for yourself. No historian can prove or have submitted evidence in the Jamaica Library or anywhere else, not even the Gleaner, that was said by Mr. Bustamante. It has been a lie and innuendo that we have allowed to slide for far too long. And it has affected our history and culture, whether you believe it or not. Because when you hear this now, I'm going to say this without fear or favor. Listen, you see, Rastafarianism is a very big part of Jamaica's culture. It's the biggest sell right now, our second biggest sell on our tourism product. Yet, they allow these people to operate in confusion for political gain.
Yes.
Okay, sir. And you're saying that your explanation carries more weight than mine?
I'm saying the truth, pressed down to the ground, will rise.
Yes,
and the fact that you came, he's not speaking the truth. All I have to simply say to him is the truth.
And provided the explanation. You don't think the listeners benefited?
Yes, the listeners benefited.
Yeah.
Yes, the listeners benefited. But the listeners also at danger for allowing the misinformation to go through. The same listeners that would have heard me putting it out there and challenging them to do the research would have heard him say it, and how much people will take it and gone. How much people will already hear that narrative and come and hear him say it again without being challenged and say, oh, it must be the truth. That has been the case.
Travis, that is what I was trying to say to General One, that the lies spoken louder than the truth, right, can take root, right? And that is what happens. So we have to ensure that we speak the truth. Have your background noise though, right? Yeah. But I'm going to may I just hand over the mic to Joshua. Joshua, go ahead.
Good afternoon there, Joshua.
Joshua, before you go, I got jump down now, but I campaign a bit, Earlier I spoke about one of the seats that we are going to win. I see him there. Fitz Jackson. Fitz Jackson spent one of them signed if you put up one sign like that in Jamaica a few years ago, between 2017 to 2018. It's $750,000. So it probably reach $1 million now. And Fitz Jackson saw it well.
I have to pay a certain fee at a certain time to keep it up there. So it's not cheap.
So Fitz Jackson found the best solution to him to Portmore residents, South St. Catherine residents, to put up a sign to show his incompetence right over one gully where one clean. Be a rubbish in there. And Satan Campbell could come out last week, come talk about this frail old man. You understand me? The frail old man could have, this money could have put on a roof for the man. See it there? No to Fitz Jackson.
That's how money
no to Fitz Jackson. People are not going to see this sitting on my page. I'm going to put up the video now. Thanks again, neighbor, for allowing me.
Take care of yourself. Jamaican politics. I'm not so sure that I know who you are. You know my name, actually, Jamaican politics, which means that you know me. You know me, that means I know you. You have to go give me a little bit more information, all right? I'd be happy to talk to you. Jamaican politics. Give me some more information as to who you are. 'Cause you seems like you know me. Are you from Manchester? Joshua, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you, man?
I am alive. That's a good start.
Yes.
Good afternoon, gentlemen in the box. If it's Jamaica Politics Uncovered, is somebody who you can allow to speak. I know
They know
her.
me,
Not
sir.
that.
They know me. They know me. I see they call it.
She wouldn't know you, but personally. But she's somebody who is known, well known. She's a former PNP, but she's now a nemesis for the PNP. The PNP hate her like poison.
It's not JPU though, Joshua.
It's not JPU. Oh, it's the wrong person I'm thinking of then. All right. So, as I was saying, neighbor, and I greet everybody in the chat. I've been listening to the discussion a little bit. I've been in and out even before the person came up a while ago, Genuine One. Right? I was in and out. In fact, I was in between another live that he was on also earlier. And I share a similar concern that he shares. And you may ask, what is the relevance? The relevance is that political strategists use what they can, oftentimes factual, not all the time, but oftentimes factual, for their benefit. You're a brilliant man. I know you personally. I know that you understand the value of such a statement. And so something like this, what it can do is show the nature of the opponent that we're going up against and the length by which they're willing to go in order to gain power, and that their quest for power is not for the benefit of Jamaica, but for their own selfish gains. That is the purpose that this argument serves when we bring in the IC in conversations like these. Because when you have a group of people who is willing to use unsavory, unethical, immoral means to get themselves in a position wherein they not only influence society, but by and large will be ruling or leading a nation, then we have to bring it to the public's light and let the public understand that this is not the kind of people who you want at the helm of government. These are certainly not those who you would want to be leading you as a nation, right? So from that perspective, that is why I would want to have a little bit of discussion on it, maybe not totally now.
Are you suggesting that the decision to discontinue the conversation is one that you do not agree with?
If it's one that I would do what?
That you don't agree with?
I wouldn't say not agree with, but I'm saying it is something that needs to be examined a little more closely, because it can be beneficial not just to the party, but to the nation as a whole, and also to this decision making of the would-be voters. Once we explore it in its proper way.
Joshua, there is no question that as the election campaign intensifies, this matter is going to be among the issues discussed. Do you agree?
It depends on who is the strategist for the party, and it also depends on the mindset of people like us, because some persons may not even think of it. They may be thinking of other things. It's people like us now, and genuine ones, and perhaps people like Travi, who may think that, listen, we can't leave this to die. It shouldn't die. When you're going to force person out because they are a hindrance to your nefarious activities, you know, then again, as I said on another live the other day, but from a different perspective, it's a threat to national security.
All right. Could you help us here, Joshua?
Yes, sir.
help our listeners to understand what is the argument being made on both sides. Help me.
Well, I'm not quite sure what is the argument that the other sides are making, but what we as supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party should be putting forward. Well, let me start with the question that you asked. The argument from the corrupt party, which is the Orange Brigade, is that the Prime Minister is corrupt, is dishonest, and they have not been able to prove it. Having not been able to prove it, they decide in their quest to try and paint him that way. They have exposed their own hand, how corrupt they are, because they are willing to corrupt an organization that should be a bastion of integrity to achieve a particular objective that they were unable to achieve. Right?
Yes. So how has it played in the society based on your observation? Has this played negatively in the minds of Jamaicans?
Initially, yes, as it relates to the PM himself, not necessarily the party, even though if the PM is viewed in a particular way, a vote against the PM would be at least a vote against the party somewhat.
Yes, but there is a view, Joshua, that had the elections been called in the height of this malaise, the height of this seemingly strategic move by the party, the PNP, that the Prime Minister would have suffered politically.
Yes, he would have, and it would have, even if afterwards his name was cleared, it would have been said that he lost the election as a result of corruption allegation, and it would have left a stain, right? Even if it's a case where the Jamaica Labour Party had won, it would be so close an election that it would be a lame government, right? And
do you think therefore that there has been a damage to the reputation of the most honorable Prime Minister? Do you think
anymore? Not anymore. Not anymore. Initially,
why is it the PNP has held on to this? If it is not benefiting them politically, why are they?
All right. So the reason they have held on, because the fight is not over for them, right? And if it's not over for them, it should not be over for us, because their intent is that we are not done with this matter yet, and we noticed that they're making another strategic move. And what is that strategic move? The strategic move is, let us pack the IC with our friends, our people who we can influence, and have another go at it as we get closer to the election.
But Joshua, how is that possible? Is that how members are recruited for the Integrity Commission?
Well, let us test the theory. We immediately see that the replacement, at least what is considered, or at least what is said to be the temporary replacement for Lady Kamika, is not only a close friend of the Jensen of the other party, but also was a member of his wedding party. And it having been put forward, right, there has been moves afoot to keep him, and it is also said
a wider number of issues, including what is happening in the economy.
Yes, because if you look at the 18 months before the local government election in comparison to the months after, the 1 year and 2 months after the local government election, it's different. It's a different signal you're getting. The one before was like a part of the pandemic, just coming out of the pandemic, people disgruntled about a lot of things. Government not starting and kicking off projects because they were held up for 2 years. Now, since that time, even during that February, there was ongoing work. Since that time, a lot of work have been finished. A lot of promises is coming to reality. The people are seeing the work done by the JLP across constituencies in Jamaica. So it's a different time. They say 6 months can be a long time in politics. That's over a year. And it's a different time. And don't forget that the councillors, most of those divisions had JLP councillors since maybe 2016 or 17. 2016, and the local government election was being postponed. It hadn't been kept for 8 years. So,
all right. Now, having said that, Casey, give me your best projection for St. Elizabeth. I know probably we have done that before, but just based on, and as I said to you from last night, I have been looking at the forecasting strategy to make sure that we have it nailed down. Give me your best projections for St. Elizabeth Southwestern, which is the bellwether seat. And I want my listeners to understand, because when I looked this morning at this whole bellwether thing, I found that it is more historical than anything grounded in statistical data. And so we have to be careful. Wouldn't you agree, sir?
Yes, I would agree.
Yes.
All right.
But based on history and tradition, this seat votes all the time for the winning party.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Tell me then, what are you seeing over in Southwestern St. Elizabeth? What is your best projection at this point?
All right. Southwest St. Elizabeth will always show strong support for both parties. There are a lot of electorate and there are a lot of support for both parties. In recent time, it favors the JLP. And another thing I must point out, I always go back to 2016 election because it's the most recent close election.
Yes.
In a close election, when the constituency count was 32-31, JLP won that by over 2,000 votes.
Yes.
Recent history show me that in order for PNP to take Southwest St. Elizabeth, PNP would have to have maybe a 6-point or 7-point lead. Like in 2011, when they won 2/3 of the seat, it was 42-21, and they still only managed to win Southwest St. Elizabeth by 13 votes.
Yes.
Another thing I must point out, I know somebody may come at me and said, I'm just thinking about the national swing. What about the candidate? What if one candidate is stronger than the other? Miranda is popular, but she's not as strong a candidate as Floyd Green. Floyd Green is most influential in the constituency. So I'm not talking about I thought about that and I passed that early. I'm just saying, in order for PNP to take that, they will have to take it based on a national swing. And recent history have showed me that the last time they managed to get that seat in the PNP column, they had to win 42 seats. And based on the numbers, that would have been the 42nd. So there are 41 more likely seats for PNP to win. So unless you see PNP blowing out JLP and winning 40 or more seats, I don't see them winning Southwest St. Elizabeth.
Okay, so you discount the TVJ's analysis And you are saying that would you say that it is a statistical dead heat in Southwestern?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I don't see that. I see Floyd Green still leading.
Yes?
Yes. And as I said, it's a constituency that always have a powerful showing for both parties.
The voter turnout there is always high.
Is always high, and they're always PNP, they're always JLP. So at no time you can really forecast this, like before an election. When a campaign has started, you will always see strength for the PNP that maybe you didn't expect. And I understand where TVJ is coming from. They're looking purely at the numbers, which Floyd Green would have, JLP would have managed to tally only 218 more votes in that local government election than the PNP, and they were expected to maybe take it home by more. But people vote differently in a local government election from a general election. I know people will come again and say, okay, but they campaign on it as if it was a general election. But prior to that election, PNP was on the ground maybe a year, maybe some 6 months earlier than the JLP. JLP was out of touch with their workers and all kind of thing. And I can understand that because they have been through a pandemic, and the key is to focus on governance. And they were focusing on the governance of the country. And they have turned it around.
Yes. You think that the results of February, that those results are of no effect at this moment, that the Labour Party would have turned around their electoral chances and have pushed ahead?
Yes, and they were ahead, because if it was a general election, JLP would still win the election. I must remind people that.
All right. No, I got some information last night also that over in St. Mary, Weston, that by the way, Casey, is Bobby Montague back in the cabinet?
Well, I didn't get that information. That one must have passed me.
It would have passed me too. Odin, is Bobby back in the cabinet? I am getting some information that Western St. Mary is